So hey there everybody, uh, change of scenery again. It's pretty hot here in Belgium. It's pretty hot. It's like 35 degrees. Uh, so all the shades are down. I'm sitting here in front of a fan, an air fan. It keeps me a little bit cool. Although I'm drinking coffee because I'm a coffee. I'm addicted to coffee, but hey, but I wanted to talk to you about this little flick, uh, Tenebrea from 1981, directed by Dario Argento, one of his more known ones, and a lot of people love one of his favorites among a lot of people, not me. Um, I did a review, but I was so confused. I saw it 6 months ago or something, and like I said, it's before I start with the review, it's pretty. Um, it's confusing. You can get confused. There are a lot of characters that do this and that and this and that, and you gotta you know keep up with the pace. So it's with Anthony Francoisa, who plays Peter Neal. He's a writer, a well-known writer. John Saxon is in this one, who plays Bulmer. I always love seeing Saxon. I think I like the guy. He's a good actor. Daria Nicolodi, of course, again in a Gilo movie, Deep Red, Phenomena, as Anne, the personal assistant of Peter Neal, and that's about it. Let's say main players. There are a lot more people, but I'm gonna just call them with their normal names. Sorry for the darkness. Sometimes the light, if there's the 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 window, sometimes I mean the curtains go up and down by the fan here, but uh, hopefully you can see me well. Um, Now what happens is that Peter Neal has to go to Rome to sign. He's from New York. He signed some to sign some his new book Tenebrea, and he goes there with his agent Bulmer, played by John Saxon, and Dara Nicolodi is his personal assistant. He gets assigned, and she also a sort of a baggage boy, hand boy called Gianni. And what happens is people are getting killed. People are getting killed in the same style that the book Tenebrea is written in. The kills in Tenebrea happen in real life by a unknown killer who's obsessed by this writer, basically. Not only this book, but this writer. There's this scene where this lesbian couple gets killed in a really cool way. There, she puts on at some point the killer's in her house. She puts on a. By the way, this is a spoiler review, not spoiler free. So for the ones who want to see this movie, if you see this movie, try to um, keep keep by. Don't get focused by anything. Don't get put your cell phone away. Try to, because this is in my part is one of the most confusing. I mean, yeah, most confusing. You really gotta pay attention. So, but is that, does it make it bad? No, it's a good movie. So So you should watch it, especially if you are a Gyro fan or a Argento fan. Argento was probably the one of the famous ones, especially in the 70s and the 80s. In the 90s, he went down, but there back then he made good movies. I think, in my opinion, this is one of his. There's one more I believe that's pretty good, but it's one of his almost last good movies, tennebrae. So there's a lesbian couple that gets killed. One of them, it's a pretty cool kill. And so the killer uses the same, black glove with a razor blade, like barber used to shave a beard. And one of the girls puts on a T-shirt, and the T-shirt gets slashed, so you see her face, because her face is still covered by the T-shirt, and then he slashes again in the stomach. You see this, of course, because in all these Gyro movies you got pretty explicit kills. And you see, but that's cool because through the slash you see the blood squirting out the slash in her face. So she gets basically, I think she got throat slit, and you see the blood spurting out through the slash. It's pretty cool done. And the other one gets slashed too. Nothing impressive, but the one with the T-shirt I just thought was pretty cool. That the blood came through the through the slashed T-shirt. Eventually, Peter Neal has this contract to be interviewed by a few reporters, and one of these reporters is Mr. Cristiano Berti, and he was really into his work in almost in a possessed kind of way. You could feel that there's something fishy going around him. And when the kills start to happen, Peter Neal wants to investigate himself a little bit. He takes Gianni with him as backup, and he goes to the villa because Cristiano Berti is making good money apparently. Because before he goes to the villa, a girl has been killed too. The landlord where Pierre Neal is living, the landlord's daughter is killed. She winds up at his house. She sees all these photos on the wall, and then she of course gets slashed too. So there are a few more killings in between before Pierre Neal, and Gianni go to inspect the house. So now Peter says, "Stay here. I'm gonna look around," and Gianni sees him at some point, and he sees him saying something, and he couldn't really hear what he was saying. Now, and this is the confusing part. Like I said, so he goes to find Peter, but he gets chased or something. But I think he finds Peter. No, he finds Peter, and he finds Peter's head knocked in with a rock. He said, let's go," and eventually Gianni gets killed and strangled before he would had a chance to go to the police to say what he heard, because he heard what the killer said. I believe they show a scene later on what he said before he got axed to death in the head. He gets killed. Um, Now the weird thing with Peter is he always has these. No, it's not him per. It's not him per se, but there's somebody who has these dreams of a beautiful girl, and he, we see a POV shot, and the girl commands other guys to take him, and she puts her heel in his privates and like that. She basically is torturing and humiliating him, and these dreams are constantly coming back and back and back. Now, the detective, uh, detective Germani, you had two detectives that came to question Peter Neal, Detective Germani and Detective Altieri. She's a lady, and the other one is a guy. And Germani is the guy. He said, let's go to Birdie's house because he also had the idea that Birdie was weird from Neil, so they go to his house, uh, or they find a clue. I think they find a clue to go to his house. He didn't get it from Neil, and they find all these pictures and things of obsession that the killer was obsessed by Peter Neal and his books, and then you get this back to the back this back to the past scene that the killer said, I killed them, I killed them all. That's what he said. That's what Gianni heard. I don't know why that scene was played like that. I don't know, because he's already there. He was, because before he gets to the police, he gets strangled. So um, then you have Jane, the wife of Neil, who comes to Rome, and she's there to meet up with her toy boy, John Saxon. Woohoo! Bulmer, apparently they're having an affair, and this was okay. So now we get to see sort of who the killer is, because the dreams, you get to see that Neil is having these visions, these dreams about this girl that humiliated him, tortured him. She gets killed with a knife. So first he kills Bulmer at a open location, because he killed him. Probably he, you know, Bulmer knew who he was. He went there and went close. He gave him a hand, and had a big coat on, and stabbed him in the gut. So and went away. So that's the reason why probably Bulmer got so close to him. Then Jane knows that Bulmer was killed by Neil, and she's waiting in an apartment, small apartment, for her husband to show up with a pistol. The You never see if it's Peter Neal. You see it when, but it's already presumed. You already kind of know it's him. Then he jumps through the window and he rushes her and slices her hands. I think she chops off her hand. And then you got this cool scene where she's strolling around the wall and the wall is spattered with blood. The sprays with blood are following her, and she gets killed. Now, then Detective Altieri gets there too, because she probably called the police to come to this apartment too, to catch Peter Neal. She, Detective Altieri gets axed to death too. Now he hears Detective Germani and Anne, Daria and Chloe, approaching the house, and when they come in, he takes a knife and sticks it in his throat and slits his own throat. And because he knew he was caught, okay, so he's standing there, and and they're starting to, yeah, apparently the detective said apparently he killed a lady when he was young, that humiliated him in Rhode Island, and that's the reason why he's so triggered to kill again. So then you know why he's killing, basically, then, because of the humiliation and the sexual humiliation and things like that. Now the phone don't work. They go outside to call somebody, but the phone doesn't work. But Germani goes back inside. Body's gone from Peter Neal. He finds this knife, which is the blade. It's the same blade that the killer had, the first killer had, but with a dull blade and a button to spray blood out. So he faked his own death, and then he puts an axe in Germani's back, the back of his head. He falls down, and he falls against this sculpture of spiny cones that block the door. Anne goes there as she tries to get in. He goes to stand behind the door, and when she gets in, she would be axed too, but she hit so hard against the door that the sculpture penetrates Neal in the body, and that's the way he dies. Now, like I said, a lot of things. People having a second one, two killers, people having affairs, a lot of different characters that get involved, characters that get involved in the first act, the second act, third act. It's a movie that it's a good movie. It's a well constructed movie. It's not all over the place, but like I said, you have these visions. You don't, yeah, you don't know where these visions are coming from, and the vision is getting weirder and weirder and weirder all the time. Then it gets sort of violent, and then at the end, the vision of the beautiful lady she's being stabbed to death. Then we know that these visions come from Peter Neal, and that's the reason why he kills. So, and he probably strangled because it's not because of Jane, the arrival of Jane. He probably seen Jane and Bulmer kissing each other, and that's not what triggered them off. I think what triggered them off was killing the first killer, because he killed the first killer, but he didn't want any witnesses of that, and he strangled Gianni because I think he sort of wanted that all the kills that happened, that the detectives like Germani and Altieri thought that Berti was the killer, that he could kill and just and maybe keep killing and cover it up that Bertie was a killer. But that's reason why he killed Gianni earlier on. But Germani, he had a clue to go to his house. Um, I don't remember how he got that clue, but he got a clue, and that's where he found in the basement all his pictures. So, and then of course Jane, the ultimate showdown with her and her husband. A lot of people get die. The third final act, one, two, three people get killed. um, but the weird thing is that he it looked like when he killed Altieri, it looked like he had remorse. He didn't want to kill her. He hit, and when he went from his hiding place, took an axe and axed her, and he dropped the axe and he goes, "Oh no, 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 no!" So but then again, okay, you kill, okay, the killer. That's no remorse there, because he's a psychopath, the the Cristiano Berti guy. But then he kills Gianni for seeing it, and it's already fucked up, right? But then having sort of remorse for killing Altieri, that's weird. Yeah, because after that he sort of snaps back in killer mode and fakes his death, but when Germani gets back and doesn't see his body, he has, for some reason, because, and that's so stupid. And that's stupid in the movie, that scene, because he could have ran away. He could have taken a plane maybe and ran away and whatever, but he chose to stay there and to see that the detective finds he, that before he was you know because before this ruse was found out, that. But no, he stays there in the apartment, and eventually I think he really, well, that people are gonna come in because it's a crime scene. But yeah, he stays there and access Germani and try to access Annie too, Anne too. Sorry, Dara Nickelodeon. Uh, but yeah, it's stupid. I don't understand the fake killing. Maybe because he knew he would get shot at that point, but then staying there and doing nothing, and then kill Giovanni as, yeah, it's, you know what I mean. It's confusing. It's a stupid plot point. Um, it was interesting that he killed himself with a fake blade, but if you wanted to do it in a good way, in my opinion, he should get the fuck out of there. They don't find somebody. They go back. Germani, for example, Germani goes back in the apartment, doesn't find a body, sees the fake, what we all see, but he's gone. He's gone. That was the entire, in my opinion, point of the ruse of the fake death, right? But no, it just stays there, and that's stupid. That's stupid. It's like the movie, for my part, could end it there, and we know that he's a killer, but he didn't die. I mean, for me, that's good, because all the people that knew. No, that's not true, because Germani knew. He found files of Peter Neal about the fact that he killed a lady back in the whatever's in the 60s or something. But yeah, he could escape, right? He could escape. So okay, no, he stays there, and okay, eventually tries to kill them all. Gets a cool death. Gets penetrated by this stupid art art thingy with metal cones, and he gets a cone. He gets coned. Now this movie. Here's my notes because I really needed them. Now, what's this movie? Is this movie a good movie? I said it before I talked spoilers. Um, you get some good gore always, like in every Giallo movie. You get explicit gore. You always get weird twists, in my opinion. You got that in Phenomena with the little piglet kid, that's the killer, or the second killer. And you got that with Suspiria too, that apparently is a coven of witches. All these movies are sort of like that. Uh, and a killer. Now I'm thinking phenomena. No, killer. Although a razor blade is used in phenomena to kill Frau Bruckner, was played by Dara Nicolodi, by the chimp. He slashes her to death. But the main weapon in that movie is a spear that can be connected with another part of a spear with a knife on. But and in Suspiria, the they didn't. There was a ritual box, and it had a barber's knife in there, and that's where the witch goes after Sarah. Yeah, and gets her throat slit with. Yeah, so he always has a thing for barber knives as weapons. But okay, so it's a pretty good movie. It's not, in my opinion, not one of his best, but I think a lot of people like it. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm finding it a good watch, okay movie. But I've seen it twice now, and I'm probably not gonna see it for a third time. So I got my fill of it. So you Argento fans or Diallo fans, give it a watch because maybe you like this one. Bye.